My name is Olga Duskin. I used to work in People in Need, where I met with Teresa Čajková on the project Teachers Agents of Change. We also founded this group of P4C, Philosophy for Children, that came from American professor of philosophy, Maggie Whitman. But we will talk about the theory later. First, I would like you to experience it, and then we can study it more. Either you can select that you will be a chocolate or you will be a bread. And get your time and once, just imagine that there is a scale here. As more here you are, that much you would like to be bread. And as more you are there, you would like to turn into a chocolate. So now you can change your place according to the fact if you want to be a bread or a chocolate. Okay, so I will maybe first ask you, because you selected the bread and you asked the most ready one. So could you share with us why you decided to be a bread?
I love bread, actually. It's one of my favourite foods, and I travel a long way at home to go to a really good baker's, and bread is a very important part of my life.
Okay, thanks.
Preferred by chocolate as well, so much.
Yeah, I forgot to tell something. If you will define why you want to be bread or chocolate, try just to identify why you want to be it, and try to avoid not to compare with the other ones. I will maybe later tell you why. Thanks. May I ask you?
Me too. I like bread.
You like bread?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I can't see your names, so...
Okay.
But yeah.
So one of the reasons is the same, but also bread is important for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting to see how it is prepared, how it grows from
Process.
Yes, the whole process.
Okay, thank you. Maria?
Well, if I were to choose which one I would be without, I think I could do easier without chocolate than bread. It's more essential. That's why.
Okay, thank you. Marita?
Well, I will say the opposite. I will be able to be without the bread, but not without the chocolate. I know it's not good, and it is sweet, and I just like it.
Thank you.
Yes. But your question was if can I choose to be a chocolate?
To be.
To be. Okay, so maybe I want to be a chocolate because I like to travel, and the chocolate had to travel so many kilometers.
That's it. I'm making this game for many years, and this is the reason that I never had.
I love sweets, I like chocolate, and my thoughts are the same like my colleagues. I am neighbor, and I love travel a lot.
Well, I associate chocolate with pleasure, and since I want to be chocolate, I want to bring pleasure to the others. I mean, fun, pleasure, positive emotions, positive feelings, tastes.
Thank you.
The man before me just took my decision because it's obvious how many of us choosing chocolate, and from the same reasons, and also to cheer people up in the hard moments. Maybe you can be one piece, but it's enough.
I understand. Thank you.
I like to be chocolate because it's a joy of the soul. That's why.
I like chocolate because it's tasty and it's giving me energy.
I agree.
I like chocolate. Not always and not more, but sometimes. And
Sunday, and my children see me. I'm chocolate.
Ah, your children see you were already associated as a chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think everybody loves chocolate, so everybody will love me then.
Clever.
Because chocolate makes happy people.
Yeah.
That's why.
Thank you for sharing. After what you heard here, what the other colleagues told, would you like to maybe move somewhere on the scale, or would you stay where you decided to be at the beginning? Is there anybody who would like to move there or there? No? Okay. So I will give you another chance to turn. And now there are maybe not so popular options, but either you can be a farmer or you will be a fisherman. There is nothing in between. Now you have to select either one or the other one. So now you can change your place according what would you rather be. It's better for you to be a farmer or a fisherman. Since you won't have many fishes.
I'm a woman, not a man.
Okay, it can be fisherwoman.
Yeah, I'm joking. That's not good, yes?
But you stay there by yourself.
Not by myself, but because I'm going to fish and make the fish. Maybe I'm not going to make the fish die, but make my own lake where they want.
So
They could live.
that's why you think that they didn't come here, because they don't want to kill the fishes.
I started at the first point. It was not that that thought, but then I decided this.
Okay. So the reason is that you will want to have some
No.
private.
I decided because I think the fishermen are free people. I love the sea. I live by the sea, so that's why.
Okay, thank you. And now I will ask somebody who is fully there. Why farmer? Yes, is fully.
I don't like water. I don't like to be in the water.
Is there somebody who has different reason why you decided to be a farmer?
I love gardening. I love flowers. I love nature, and I can relax here.
Thank you.
Well, I can say why I decided not to be a fisherman, since I love the sea. I live by the sea and I love the sea and I love fishing. But I want to keep it as a hobby.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd rather produce something and use my free time to do what I really
Just for
love.
weekends.
Yes.
Okay.
If I turn this into a profession, maybe I will stop liking it so much.
Which means that you don't like gardening much.
Well, I do, but I definitely prefer water.
So come with me.
I'm drinking everything, okay?
Okay. Some other reason why to be a farmer?
Yes, because you can grow a lot of different types of food. But if we are talking about surviving, you can survive only from eating fish. But you can grow a different, I don't know, you can grow grains or vegetables, fruits. So because of that, I decided to be a farmer. But I very like water. And that was the main reason.
So more people
Because
will come here.
I did not survive. That was the main reason that I decided to be a farmer.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Well, I was thinking, if I would be in position to survive, I would be able to grow something, but I wouldn't be able to catch fish. So.
I chose because I grow seasonal food for my family.
So you already have some experience?
Sometimes.
Seasonal.
Yeah, seasonal.
I thought that as a farmer you can really take care of the land, while as a fisherman, as I see it, you just take and you don't do anything back. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
I like gardening. I don't like fishing because I so much like seeing and walking and be there.
Some other reason that we didn't hear it.
If you're a fisherman, you will have to stay calm and be quiet.
With yourself.
And farmers,
No
you
children.
you will work all the time.
Thank you. So after what you've heard now, is anybody who would like to move a little bit there or back?
If I don't need the fishing, I can stay here.
If you will be a fisherman and you will not need to do fishing, you would be there?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And the fishermen stay where it stayed? Okay. Thank you. I have another good news for most of you, because in the next exercise, we all will be farmers. And I have a great news for you, because I have a really huge farm, huge one, very fruitful one. And by the way, this year, first time in my life, I tried a lottery and I won it. And why I'm telling this to you is because I decided that with so much of money that I won, I decided to leave the farm for 1 year for a cruise. And because this was a very fruitful year here, so I decided to let all the profit of the last harvest give you, and let it completely on you how it will be used. So now it's upon you, on each of you, to think by yourself, how would you use it? You can think about some different beneficiaries who can get it, about some investments, or I don't know to tell you much because it's really up to you. So I would like to ask you first to think by yourself for maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes. How would you like to spread it? It's up to you how you will make it, the design. If it will be some pie chart, or if you will just like make some list. Just take a time for yourself for 2, 5 minutes. So I will maybe clarify it for you all. I'm leaving for the 1 year, which means that you together will be the ones who will keep the farm going, and you will use the profit of this year harvest. It's up to you how you will make it. I'm leaving it completely up to you. And you can also make it by yourself, like what we have on the farm. What we are like focus concern. We will later work in pairs and groups, so please just first make it by yourself. If you have any questions, yes? you if we can like always focus on one poster and listen to the suggestion, because after all of them will be presented, we will need to decide it just for one. So if you will present it, maybe you can try to present the way that it's quite clear for anybody, and anybody will know that your solution is quite well, and because you suggested, you most probably want this to be happen. So is there anybody who wants to start? So maybe Happy Farm.
Okay, Happy Farm.
Right.
Hold that up. Anyone? Happy Farm is
The farm of the future, and I would like you all to think this is the way we should be going. Because obviously, hippie means it's good for the environment, and happy means it's good for people. So what would you better than that? We're going to spend most of our money on labour, because a happy workforce is a happy farm, and happy workers make good food for people to eat. And we're going to give them lots of training and know-how so that they can be better farmers. We're going to spend money investing in sustainable energy, so we're looking to the future as well. And we're going to make sure we've got good quality inputs, organic seeds, and proper varieties that are not genetically modified. Does that make sense? All our inputs are kind of gathered in together here. I'm sorry I haven't been particularly precise, but they're going to be the highest quality inputs possible. And of course, importantly, we're going to spend some money on marketing, because if you haven't got anyone to sell all our nice vegetables to, then they're going to rot in the fields. So we're going to spend lots of money telling everybody locally how good our products are so that they can come and buy them. And there, welcome to the farm of the future, Hippie Happy Farm.
Yes, anybody? I have a question. You need something to be clarified. Did you understand everything, or is there something you would like to be specified?
Maybe in this education we can add kids from kindergarten, so they
Yes, it was
bring our knowledge to them.
for the future generation.
Thank you.
Great presentation.
So there is, we can move to all seasons farm.
Okay, so we were thinking of the concept of all seasons farm, and it's called all seasons because we have like the seasons are what we are working with, but it's also a metaphor for what we are trying to build. So for spring we have education. That means we are working with children, but also with adults. So they learn how to work in a garden. They learn how to connect with the nature and sit there. And then for the summer we have a very important part in the farm, which is basically the production of the food. We will have fruits, vegetables, but also some meat production with chicken. For autumn, we have community, which is something which is an outcome of making a farm like this, but is also something that makes it happen, right? So it will be basically functioning in one community, employing people from the nearby places, and trying to make everybody.
We'll use also them for tourism and education. Children from school and kindergarten will come, and they will see how, for example, how to make a compote, or how to make this appetizer, or they will see a cow, because we have children that have never been never have seen these animals. Yes, these animals. And for tourism, of course, because it will be a small village farm, but we think that there might be families with children that might come, for example. And we'll have bees, but they will be at the end of the farm. Bees for honey and for pollination.
Oh, yeah.
And And
The
do
most
I miss
important
something?
function of the bees.
Yeah.
Fine. And since this will be, this farm is, of course, in the village, and the level of unemployment in Bulgarian villages is really high. So we'll also provide lots of work opportunity for people from the village. Of course, it will be combined with previous qualification if they need. So this will be educational for adults as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted, where I started from, I'm still under the impression from the previous workshop. I attended the workshop about rice, and I heard for the first time about the complex rice system, and I'm really impressed with that. They found a way to combine growing rice with azolla and also taking care of fish and ducks. Well, we'll probably won't be able to do that in our country, but we'll try to hire a specialist or a team of specialists and develop our own complex systems, because I definitely believe this is a really great idea. So,
Thank you. Any questions? No. So our last one, green hole.
Okay. At the start, we didn't know which type of farm do we get. Is it conventional or is it organic?
Expected that it's conventional.
But even if it's not, if it's already organic, so we want a farm with permaculture type of growing. We would cooperate with local community or other farmers.
Also with local schools?
With a local community, with schools, kindergarten, hospitals. We would get some new workers and give possibility to some volunteers or homeless people to work on our farm. Then in the way of cooperate with other farmers, we would share knowledge, we would get together and start agricultural cooperation to be stronger on the market. So we would be able to sell a wider types of food. We would get a place to sell our food, like your community, and also we would share seeds. So we would have very different types, varieties of
Create a seed bank.
Yeah, create a seed bank, and we would try to keep traditional varieties. And also we would have animals to keep a natural cycle in the meaning of taking from soil and giving back to soil.
Thank you. Any questions? So now is the time to decide it, and we will make the vote by our feet. So just step close to the one that you are voting for. What's your solution?
Excluding color, excluding color one, or
Yeah, you can say that you're one.
Is there any scale that we can just step in between two?
Yeah, there is a possibility of voting. If you will do this with students, I can tell you that either you will make voting by standing, that you stand somewhere
planner, and then you see how many people stays where. Or you can give everybody 3 votes. You can give them 3 small post-its, and they will stick a paper, or they can make 3 marks. And you can tell them that they cannot give 3 to their own one. One can only get 1. Or it can be also hidden vote. We can, for example, stay in the circle back, and we can vote behind our hands that nobody will see for what we vote. But now you can make it with the feet. It's the easiest one. And the most fast visible one.
The most difficult one.
Yeah. But you are adults. Just imagine how hard it should be for the students.
So we definitely need your marketing. Sorry? We definitely need your marketing.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to develop tourism and education, so we haven't thought
You
of
started
marketing.
marketing.
That was your
Yes, we can change.
And also we,
Maybe we can like cut out that.
and your organization is also really important.
Yeah, that's it. No. Sorry, but I'm between like. No,
In between these two.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you are saying.
Okay.
In between those 3. Nice, thank you. So now, I don't know if you mind if we will stay. I will just reflect what we did, the process. There are usually 10 steps in the P4C lessons. First, you are making the kids getting set. You are letting them feel more like a part of the group. This is what we did at the beginning. I have also a presentation, so I can also show it later, but when you were changing the places, maybe we better learn each other who is in the group. It was more important for me as a lecturer to know like with which kids, which age group you are working, if you already know P4C or not. But then when you were making the chocolate or bread, this is some warming up activity for the brain. And if you are making these like selection for kids, it might be pretty hard for them to share on comic in front of the whole class if it's something that is really serious. So if you are starting these lessons with kids, it's usually easier to start with something which is easy peasy, which is a little bit maybe absurd. For example, when I was making it with students at the grammar school where I teach, before we start a lesson focused on Václav Havel and his letter to the President Gustav Husa, the communist one, I think everybody here knows the motto, love and peace. Love and true will win over the false and hate. So I just made them, would you rather be a love or would you rather be a true? Then they later come, if we can also try, if they can decide it, if they would rather be a false or hate. So if you start with small children, usually start with something which is easy, which is not so that anybody can say, it's not true, you can't be this, you can't decide it, because nobody can say that you cannot be a chocolate. It's so easy that nobody can tell this seriously. And if kids will get used to it, then you can start using some more deep, more complicated options to select. Later, I put there some stimulus, which was the idea that I'm a farmer and I'm going to give you the money. Instead of this, you can use any story, picture, some short movie. And it's something which should be a little bit controversial, that it will open different questions at anybody. Usually, after the stimulus, you are giving the students a few minutes to be silent and just reflect it by themselves, what they just heard, what they just saw. Sometimes helps if you tell them that they can make up some keywords. What was the main idea for them? And then they're usually producing their own question. The process make it like first think by yourself, then in pair, and then share it in a groups later in the plenary. it's easier because at the beginning, usually kids are not, especially if they are introvert, they are not used to, and they will not want to share it on public. But if you are just first thinking something and making some notes, it's easy later to share it in couples. If you need to share it in groups, then you really need to show some negotiating skills. What P4C focus mainly are 4 types of thinking. One is caring, another is collaborative, critical and thinking. At the beginning, usually you should focus on the caring and collaborative, because most important is to create such environment in the school and the class that they are not afraid to comment on public, they are not afraid to justify by themselves. I don't know if you want to see it. I think it's maybe easier for me if I will just tell it, but I know how much you are visual types if I should start the presentation. Or I can just later send it to you by mail, also with some paper on all the 10 steps of P4C. Maybe I can show you the papers, maybe you can share them. And can we start the... Maybe this will be...
I think this one was from before. It was working before.
But I can also make it without the presentation. It seems promising. So there is a little bit of history that it came from States and it was quite much spreaded, and that I don't think so I will use the time for this. But here are the main aims. Actually, Matthew Lipman made this methodology as a teacher of university philosophical students, and he was quite upset that there are students coming to study philosophy, but they are not thinking at all. So, which he was quite surprised. So he made this to learn the students in the class, make them more able to listen to each other, to respect them, be more open to each other ideas, develop the empathy. These are the 4 C: caring, collaborative, critical and creative thinking. In the caring, it means that you are listening to anybody in the class. You are always also sitting in the circle, because only in the circle you can see each other and you can easily hear each other. Collaborative is that also in the inquiry, later when you are talking together, you are not just waiting when there will be your turn, but you are trying to build on each other ideas. Critical, it's the critical thinking, I think, as we all understand, that you are also bringing some proofs, that you are trying to clarify, specify. Creative, you are trying to bring up some other ideas, yeah. Usually at the beginning you should also set up some basic rules which will make the kids feel more safe in the class. I didn't do it here with you because I expected mainly you are teachers and it's not necessary on our level. But with small kids you should arrange how you will turn to speak. If they will have some small, special, peculiar stuff that they will like, it can speak only the one who holds it. If you will be the one who will give it to each other, or if the one who finished the speech will decide it to whom he will give it next. When I'm making it at the grammar school, the students are already so much advanced that they are moderating the inquiry by themselves. Basic is also show the respect to the person who is talking. You are also showing it the way, which is there down, that you are putting your hand up when the previous one finished the speech. That it's not that somebody is talking and then many hands are just shaking, which means that you are really not listening to the other one. That you will not build on his idea, because even he didn't finish yet, you just want to tell something. This is really hard for small kids.
but soon or late they will learn. Important is also that it's okay to disagree, but you should always tell why you don't agree. What's also important at P4C, if you compare the philosophical inquiry and debate, in the debate it's a little bit hard or shame if you change your opinion. But this is not true in P4C lessons, because the fact that you change a little bit your opinion means that you listened well to the other ones, that you are able to be empathic, that you are critical, that maybe there was something that didn't come on your mind yet. But it's important to see what the other groups think. Here are the steps. So first is the getting set. Actually, there are 10 steps how you can make philosophy for children the best, but sometimes you don't have so much time. So there is these 4 steps, which are sometimes easy to make. First, make them think about something, give them the space. This is very important because usually we are used that the lesson has just 45 minutes, so there is not so much time. So the students are not used to think, really like, and any great idea came just in 1 second. You should really think about it. So getting set was, the 4th one, sorry. So we were thinking first, like what you would be rather, chocolate or bread. Then you commit, you had to move somewhere. Then you had to justify why I want to be a bread. And then you reflect, will I move or I will not? So this is just the simply 4 steps, if you don't have time to do all the 10. Presentation of stimulus, movie, some picture. For example, sometimes I use Banksy pictures, if you know. They have quite potential, that they are evoking some other ideas. And for example, Steve Katz's movies, short movies, are also good to use. Then there is the thinking time. Usually I'm telling them, okay, 2 minutes just to think. What you saw, what was coming on your mind, what are the key ideas, key words. Then question making. You can make it just by yourself, or later they can directly make it in couples. Then there is question airing. With question came on our mind. What we did here was a little bit different. But if I will compare it with this model, you are making here some suggestion by yourself. Then there is question choosing. You have to select which one we will do in the couples. And because our classes are usually 45 minutes, as I know, so if you want to make such a lesson, usually this is a good place to make a break. Because if you will select some question or something, for example, if you will, with this activity, came up to here, that you have something by yourself, then you can finish it. And in the bigger groups, you will finish the other lesson. If the way is that, let's imagine that we watch some movie, each of us came up with some question, then share it in couple, and then select it in some group. Now it's time when we bring this question. For example, when I used the letter to the communist president from Václav Havel, the question was that the students make, and that was selected, what is our current community afraid of? So if I would make this another lesson, I will just, the second lesson came that, okay, that the stimuli was the letter. Just imagine or remember that we read this letter and you came up and voted for this question. Now we will think about this question. First thoughts, the group which made up the question will introduce it. How it erased on their mind, how they came up on it. And then, first one who has something to link to the question can start. You can also, if you work with kids that are not used to it, you can also spread some questions how to start. I disagree with because, I agree with because, I think that, I would like to refer back to somebody. If you have these questions, the students usually think in this and it's helped them to start the building on each other. When you have not much time and you see that your time is getting off, then you can just, as a moderator or facilitator, summarize the main ideas that already appeared, and you can tell them if there is something which was not told yet, that now is the time to sound. Sometimes students that didn't talk all the lesson and they were just listening, sometimes they are now telling what they had on their mind. And then there is the review of the inquiry. It also depends what was your aim of the inquiry. Either you can give a question, did this lesson make me think? Did I learn something new about myself? Did I learn something new about the group? Were we building on each other's idea? What we were as a group good at? What we should improve next time?